Welcome back to Born for This Stories. I'm Johanna. Today's episode is a short one, but I think it might be one of the most important ones I've ever recorded. Because today isn't about the diagnosis. It's not about the appointments or the research or the decisions. Today is about you. Just you. Not you as a caregiver, not you as a mom. Just the woman underneath all of that. And if that sentence just made your chest tight, if part of you is thinking, I don't even know who that is anymore, keep listening. This one's for you. I remember being in that space of, hey, maybe someone finally said, hey, do you need a minute to yourself? I can be here. I can handle this. Take 10, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. Go do something that you want to do. Do something that makes you happy. And I had no idea what that even meant. Let's be real. If you're a mom, especially a first-time mom, and even if everything goes to plan and you have your baby and there's no medical complexity, you still lose yourself. And we mourn the woman we used to be, and we have to figure out who we are now. And that's just if everything goes to plan. If things don't, and we have our baby, and then we add a layer of medical complexity to it, and now you're a caregiver out of nowhere for a medically complex child. Now you lose yourself in a very different way. There is no more time for you. Everything goes into hypervigilant mode. Just research, nursing, handling the wound care, handling all the doctor's appointments and the decisions that need to be made. Maybe you're even managing medical devices you couldn't even say the names of prior to this happening. So when someone hands you that pass to go do something for you, what in the heck does that actually mean? I couldn't even fathom being alone with my own thoughts. The silence of my brain felt actually terrifying. So, let alone to even try to figure out what I wanted to do seemed like way too much. I woke up one day and genuinely, I didn't know what I liked or what I wanted outside of my child's medical world because that had became everything to me. That had became, that's who I became in that moment and for a long time. I didn't even feel comfortable leaving the house, to be honest. I had completely dissolved into the caregiver role without realizing it. Because when I was actually handed that moment to leave, the amount of guilt that I also felt on the other side of that door leaving was so intense. How was I not going to be the one there for my kid? How was I going to place them in the trust of someone else? Could that person really handle it? Could they fulfill everything that my kiddo needed in the time frame that I was gone? So I can promise you those first sessions of being able to be by myself were also spent stressing out about how everything was happening at home. So I know where you're at. There's a term for what I was experiencing called caregiver burnout. Have you ever heard of it? But I think that term actually undersells it. Burnout sounds like you just need to rest and refill. What I'm describing is something deeper. It's when you look up and realize the person you were before all of this, her preferences, her rhythms, what made her feel alive, you can't even find her anymore. She didn't leave. She's still there. She's just got buried. And the cruelest part, when someone finally says, go do something for yourself, and you freeze because you generally don't know what that actually means. Like reaching for something that should be right there and finding empty space. Obviously, caregiver fatigue doesn't just have to happen to the mom, but this is really who this episode is for. Let's be honest. I actually had the opportunity to hold a local meetup, and it was for medical mamas. And the whole goal and purpose was for them to be in a safe space with other moms that have at least a similar scenario to what they have. So they could actually be with other individuals that could really see them and hold space for them. And outside of some very magical moments and conversations that happen with bringing these women together, there was something that came up, and obviously, this "who am I" topic came up. But it was interesting because all of these women have supportive spouses and some supportive family. And even the same topic came up. I still don't know who I am. Like, I am so and so's mom and caregiver. And when I had been recapping this with my husband at home, he goes, "Well, of course my moms are the caregivers. That's who the kiddos always want. They want the moms." And I never thought about it that way. Like, obviously, to be a mom, you take on this maternal role, and I think it's just innate in us to want to care and really give everything that we have to our children. So it is very fitting. Being that mom is really interesting when you think about it because it can be one of the most profound and loving things you ever go through, but it also can be one of the most depleting things all at the same time. Here's what I want you to hear. You didn't lose yourself because you were weak. You lost yourself because you loved so completely. There was no room left for anything else. That's not a flaw. That's what happens when you pour everything into keeping another human alive and okay. But she's still there. That version of you, she didn't disappear. She's just been waiting. There's small things I started to implement when I finally started to get these moments blessed upon me where I could figure out who I am, how to reconnect with myself. First, it started easy, like just starting to breathe. And I don't mean like in and out, I mean like really intentional breath, like breathe in, a longer breath out, just to reconnect and balance my nervous system. Then I just started to actually sit with myself in silence because that was one of the hardest things for me. When I had that time, all my body could do was just break down and cry. But believe it or not, crying is very healing and it's trapped emotion in the body and it needs to get out. And I didn't feel like I wanted to do that in front of my kiddos. Like, I felt like I wanted to be that strong mom. And not that I'm saying you shouldn't cry in front of your kids, it's definitely not it. But for me, I wanted to be as strong as possible, especially going through this experience. So I tried to not let them see those raw emotions too often. And so the beginning was really just processing those things. And then what happens, honestly, is once you start to let the things out that need to come out, you need to do it less often. So then I could actually start to break down, like, what are some things I really enjoy? And honestly, I just kind of tapped back into what made me happy as a kid. Like, if I was a kid again, what would I do to smile and laugh? Because I haven't smiled and laughed in I can't even tell you how long. And it broke down to some simple things. Play. And how was that? I'd like to sing and dance and play outside. I love to read. Those were things that really brought me joy as a kid. So I just start implementing them in that little bit of self-care time that I got, and it can make a huge difference on filling your cup back up. And when I was really actually sitting down and thinking about reading, I decided I'm not going to do Audible. Like, I can put something in my ears and listen to it and also like just go all the ways down all the rabbit holes I need to still on the internet and on Facebook groups and scrolling. I'm going to get a book, a real book. I'm going to hold it in my hands and I'm going to flip through the pages and I'm going to read. And I'm going to put the tabs down on the pages that I love and I'm going to highlight it. And that just honestly, as simplistic as it is, carved out space to fill my cup back up and it gave me something to enjoy again. And it's things that I can escape to a different world. whatever I'm reading. I can escape to that world and I can live there, even if it's for 10 minutes. And that's enough sometimes. So it doesn't have to be something big and extravagant. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half or 3 days. It can literally be 10 minutes of chunks of time to reset your day. And if that doesn't work, you can always throw on some music and just start shaking your tail feather, ladies. Try it out. It doesn't have to be in front of anybody else. Just move for yourself. And I don't have all the answers. I'm still finding my way back. I want to be honest about that. This is definitely not I healed and now I have it all together episode. This is a me too episode. If you're in the thick of it right now, I'm not going to tell you to start a journaling practice or book a solo retreat. I'm going to tell you to find one thing, one small, low stake thing that has nothing to do with your child's diagnosis. Not for healing, not for productivity, just because it's yours. That's where she is, in the small things. She's waiting. You were born for this, and so was she, the version of you that exists outside of all of this. Don't let her wait too long. I'll see you next week. If this episode resonated with you, we'd love for you to take one simple step. Share it with a friend, another parent, or a caregiver who might need to know they are not alone in this journey. Make sure you are subscribed so you will never miss an episode. We release new stories every Monday. And if you're looking for more connection, resources, or ways to share your own story, come join us on Instagram at Born for This Stories, or visit our website at bornthisstories.com. Remember, whatever part of the journey you're in, the waiting room, the recovery, or the in-between, you do not have to carry it alone. We see you, we stand with you, and never forget, you were born for this.